Alright, by now we should have the script and the voiceover ready. Now it's time to edit the video. I'm gonna take you through my entire process of editing a video for a Drama Faceless channel. Now, believe it or not, to edit the videos, I usually use CapCut. Before CapCut existed, I used to use Premiere Pro, but CapCut came with some updates that makes editing much more faster and easier. And for these type of videos I'm making for a Drama Faceless channel, CapCut is perfect. As I mentioned many times before, all we care about as a faceless channel is to be fast and efficient. So I'm going to be editing the video inside of CapCut. If you don't have CapCut downloaded on your computer, simply go to Google, search for CapCut, go to their website and download CapCut for free on your computer. As I said, this is a free program. It has a paid version, so if you want, you can upgrade to the paid version, but most of the time we can use just the free version. Now, the first thing I'm going to add inside CapCut is going to be the voiceover we generated with Eleva Labs. Drag and drop it inside CapCut over here where it says import. Then drag and drop it on the timeline. This is a timeline and this is where we are going to be editing the video. As you can see on the timeline now, we have the voiceover. Now, the first thing I always do is listen to the voiceover so that I can know what kind of footage I need to use in the video. So let's take a listen to the voiceover and see what the voiceover is saying.
It started with hype. A brand new coin, a flashy name, and some of the biggest personalities on the internet behind it.
So it says,
Started with hype.
it started with hype,
A brand new coin, a flashy name,
a brand new coin, and a flashy name. So we want to edit and add footage that fits with this voiceover. So here's what I'm going to do. It says,
started with hype.
it started with hype. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to YouTube and search for some clips that are relevant with the voiceover. And since the video is about Adin Ross, I'm going to search clips from Adin Ross. And I'm going to search something like fans cheering Adin Ross. Basically, what I'm trying to do is find clips that make sense with what this voiceover is saying over here.
It started with hype.
It started with hype. So, for example, fan goes on hands and knees begging and crying for Adin Ross. Maybe this clip fits.
Yeah, like, I love you, bro. I remember you yesterday. I love you. Don't go to your head. I love you, bro.
So even if this is a little bit out of context, it still shows kind of hype. So we can use this in our video, especially because it's a very interesting clip. This guy is going on his knees for Adin Ross. So it's an interesting clip. We can start off with this clip because it's going to maintain retention for how ridiculous the video is. And it does fit with the voiceover. This does look like hype. Here's how I download the videos. I copy the link and then I go to this website called Loader2. Over here, I paste the link of the video, choose the format to be MP4 1080p. Click X on the ad. It's obviously going to show you some ads. It's going to show even more ads, and wait for the website to convert this video into a downloadable file. Now, once it's done, just click download and it's going to download the entire video to your computer. It's also going to open a new tab with an ad. You can just click X. And now wait for the video to download. And once it's downloaded, put it into CapCut. So let's just drag this video inside CapCut, just like that. And let's drag it on the timeline. And now I'm going to look at the video, and now I'm going to look through the video to find a moment that is interesting, that I believe is going to hold retention. In order to now listen to the audio of the clip and also the audio of the voiceover, I'm going to put the voiceover on mute over here on the left below where it has this audio icon. Click on it and it's going to mute the audio track.
We gotta cry.
So now we can listen just to the video we downloaded.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm just going to search for an interesting moment. Honestly, I think the first part is the interesting moment over here where he runs.
I remember you yesterday.
Now, what I'm going to do, let's zoom in by clicking over here on the right on this magnifying glass and drag this just like this, and it's going to zoom in on the timeline. Now, over here where I want to cut, I'm going to make sure the timeline pin is exactly where I want to cut. And on the left where it says split, you can click Control B or just click over here split. And it's going to split the video in two parts, as you can see. I'm going to delete the first part because I don't want it. And now if I hit play,
Love you, bro.
the video will start from where I wanted it to start, from the moment I want it to start.
Love you, bro. I remember you yesterday. I love you, bro. Don't get on your hands. I love you, bro.
And now over here, I want the clip to end. So I'm going to make sure the timeline pin is over here. And again, I'm going to cut the video by going here on the left and cut this other part of the video. And now I'm going to delete this other part. By the way, to delete, I just select the clip and I press delete on my keyboard. Or you can right click and delete, but this just takes a little bit more time. So now we have just this clip. So now what most beginners do, they leave it like this. They basically mute the audio, they put the voiceover, and they do something like this.
It started with hype. A brand new coin, a flash.
This is what beginners do, but we want to animate it. We want to add originality to it because this way we can monetize it, and this way we also can increase the retention of the video. So here's how I do it. First of all, I do want to leave the audio of the original clip because I think it's interesting. It's a very interesting clip. So I'm gonna increase the volume of the clip by dragging this line over here of the audio. I'm gonna mute the voiceover again because I want to listen just to the clip.
Love you, bro.
And here's how I make an interesting edit. First of all, click on the clip, and over here where it says mask, click on mask, and then add a mask. It's going to do this thing. It's going to mask the video, and you will have this cube which you can drag and do stuff. You're going to have a bunch of masks like a star or a heart, but we don't need these ones. We're going to be using the rectangle. So use the rectangle mask. And then what I do is drag these lines on the sides of the mask to change the size of the mask. And then I'm also going to drag these lines on the bottom, and it will automatically drag the lines on top as well. And then to give it a nicer look, I'm going to scroll down over here at mask, and where it says round corners, I'm going to increase this to give it round corners. As you can see now, the corners of the video are round. So increase the round corners until you find it visually pleasing. If we hit play, it's going to look something like this. The video will look like this. But now we want to animate it. So here's how I'm going to animate it. First of all, I want to leave the voiceover in the beginning without the audio or the clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the clip we downloaded exactly where the voiceover ends. So as you can see, if you look at the voiceover ends exactly here where I'm hovering the mouse. So over here, I'm going to drag the timeline pin. I'm going to click on the clip, and I'm going to split it. And then the first clip, I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to delete the audio. I'm going to drag the audio completely down, just like that. So now if we play the video, we can listen to the voiceover, but we can listen to the audio from the clip.
Started with hype.
And then what I would like to do is pause the voiceover here and play just the clip with the audio. And to do that, I'm going to click on the voiceover. I'm going to split the voiceover, and then I'm going to drag the voiceover until the clip above ends, just like that. So now if we hit play,
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new coin.
as you can see, we have the first clip without the audio, but the voiceover is playing. And then we have just the clip with the audio, and it creates this effect, this documentary effect. Now, what I like to do is also animate this clip to make it more visually pleasing because it increases retention. It makes it easier for you to look at the video if it has a bunch of animations. So the way I like to do this is basically over here where the voiceover is playing and the clip is muted, I would like to make the clip black and white because this way we are telling the viewers that right now the voiceover is talking, so the clip is black and white. But then when the clip with the audio is playing and the voiceover is done, the clip will not be black and white anymore. This way we are telling viewers visually what is happening. We're telling them that when it's black and white, the voiceover is playing. When it's not black and white, the clip with the audio is playing. So to do that, click on the first clip, go over here on top right where it says adjust, scroll down, and at saturation, decrease the saturation to the max. And as you can see on the first clip, it's now black and white. Now to animate it, select both clips just like this, right click, create compound, and now the both clips with the black and white in the beginning and the colorful one are connected into just one clip. That's what compound clip means. Now to create an animation with this clip, here's how I do it. Take your timeline pin and position it at the beginning of the video. Click on the clip and make sure you click on video over here on the top. And at basic, where it says transform, add a keyframe by clicking over here where it says add a keyframe. This will add a keyframe wherever your timeline pin is on the video. For example, if we remove this keyframe by clicking on it again, and we move the timeline pin over here, and now we add a keyframe, you will see that we added a keyframe over here. We have like a button. And what this means, and let me just quickly explain what a keyframe is. It's basically we're telling the video editing program that over here where we placed a dot, a keyframe, anything that happens after will happen in motion. So for example, if we now scale the video, we added another keyframe. So we basically told the program that from here until here, if I increase the scale of the video will become bigger based on how far away these two keyframes are. So that's what keyframes are. It's how we edit and add motion to the video. So let's create the animation effect. Take the timeline pin and put it at the beginning of the clip, just like I said. And now don't click on a keyframe because we want to actually create an animation where the clip enters the scene. And to do that, first we need to have the clip outside of the scene. So just click on the clip, make sure your pin is at the beginning, and drag the clip all the way out of the frame. Now we can add a keyframe over here on the right by clicking on Add Keyframe where it says Transform. And now we can drag the timeline pin forward a little bit. And now if we have the clip selected, we can drag the clip back. If the clip is too far away, you can zoom out the screen over here. So we can drag the clip back in the scene, just like this. So now we told the program that starting from this keyframe until this keyframe, I want the clip position to go from outside to inside. That's how keyframes work. So now if we hit play, the clip will appear like a transition. To make it smoother, we can increase the timing of the keyframe. So just click on the second keyframe and move it more far away. So now if we hit play, it takes a little bit longer to enter. So we can play with this until it's visually pleasing. And now to make things even faster and smoother, this is part of the reason why I like CapCut. All you have to do is click on the second keyframe over here, right click, and where it says preset curves, this will tell the video editing program how fast we want this animation we just created with keyframes. And we have a bunch of presets, like we want it ease in, we want cubic in, we want like linear. My favorite one is cubic ease. So choose this one, cubic ease. Now if I click X and we play the video, it's going to look like this. It has like a smooth transition inside. If you want it to be slower, again, click on the clip and move the second keyframe a little bit more far away. And now as you can see, the clip enters in a very smooth and nice transition.
With hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand.
And that's basically how you take one simple clip from the internet and edit it in a way that makes it feel more original and more visually pleasing for the viewers, and it makes your channel more brandable. Now to make things even more visually pleasing, what I like to do is add a background behind the clip so that it's not just black. For that, I usually just search for gradient backgrounds. I have a subscription to Envato Elements, so I'm going to use Envato Elements, but you can use any stock footage you want, or you can create your own. But I'm always using this service to find images or stock footage. So I'm going to search here, gradient background. And then I'm going to select stock video. And as you can see, there are tons of gradient backgrounds you can search and add on your video. I already have a gradient background I always use. It's basically this one, which looks like this. So I'm going to take this one, add it into CapCut, and then drag and drop it below the clip. If you can't drag it below the clip because CapCut is a little bit dumb, just take the clip itself and drag it above the background. And now if we hit play, we have this purple background behind our clip, which makes everything look more professional and brandable.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
But now we can go even one step further. We can add even more animation to this clip. Right click on it, create a compound, just to save the animation we already did. Now the animation I want to make is have this clip be smaller, right, as it comes in, and then when it's finished transitioning, it's going to zoom in. To create that effect, we again have to use keyframes. So drag your timeline pin at the beginning of the clip, decrease the size of it by going over here at scale, or simply dragging this dot over here. Decrease how much you want. I'm going to go like 79% or 75%. And then where it says transform, add a keyframe. Then drag your timeline pin forward and drag it until the clip is done entering the scene. It's done transitioning, something like this. And now scale the clip how much you want, maybe 110. And if we hit play, it's going to look like this.
It started.
Right? And then again, if you want to have a more smoother transition, click on the second keyframe, right click, preset curves, and choose a pre-made animation. I'm going to choose cubic ease. Now to increase the retention of the video, we can also add captions, because when viewers read captions, they tend to stay more on the video just because they start to get invested in the video. As soon as you start to read a text, your brain starts to feel invested into that text, so you want to read more and more. It's why captions usually help. You don't necessarily have to add them, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add captions and make it look nice. So let's say we want to add captions only for the voiceover, because that makes sense, right? Go over here on the top left where it says text, and over here where it says auto captions, click on generate. And CapCut is going to generate captions for your video based on the voiceover, which is really cool. And just like that, in a few seconds, CapCut generated captions for our video. But the captions CapCut generates are going to look basic. They won't fit with our videos. So we have to make some changes to them to make them fit better with our video. Over here on the right, as you can see, we can change the text inside the caption. We can change the font size, and many more things. CapCut also provides templates. So pre-made templates, but in my opinion, most of them look like crap. It's not something I would use. For example, this one looks okay. If I add it and then I click play on the video, we will see that a caption looks okay-ish.
Brand new coin, a flashy name.
But I still don't like the font. So what we can do is go back to basic after we choose a template. By the way, you don't have to choose a template. You can click here to remove the template. So if you have a template selected and you don't want it anymore, simply click over here to remove the template. Personally, I'm not going to use a template because I think captions that don't have animations are easier to read, which will increase the retention of the video. So I'm not going to use a template. Go back to basic, and over here where it says font, we can choose any font we want. CapCut has tons and tons of fonts from which we can choose. My favorite font is this one, Enter. It's the font Google uses. I think it's a very easy to read font. So just choose the font you want. I'm personally going to choose this one. Now to make the captions look more visually pleasing, what I like to do is change the case of them. Over here where it says case, I like to select these two double T's. This will make all the words and letters inside the captions uppercased. So now if we hit play, it's going to look like that. To move the position of the captions, all you have to do, you can click on just one caption over here in the timeline, just one, because if you look over here on the right, this where it says apply to all main captions, it's activated. If you deactivate this, you can make edits to just one caption on the timeline. But if you have this activated, if you have this checked, any edits you do to just one caption will apply to all the captions. So we can just click on one single caption like this and change the position of it by simply dragging it like this. I usually like to position it over here because it's easier for the viewers to read. Now, what I like to do in order to make sure all the captions fit in this position, for example, if I drag this on the side, you will see that the captions start to look like this. What I like to do is drag those things all the way at the end of the screen, just like this. So now the entire captions will usually stay inside the space. If we hit play, it's going to look like this.
It started with hype.
But we don't want the captions for the clip, so we can delete the captions of the clip by simply selecting the captions, right click, delete. So now we don't have captions on the clip, only for the voiceover.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
And there we go. That's how we add captions to the video. Now we can also add animations to the captions. For example, I would like to add animation just to this caption. So what I'm going to do over here on the right, I'm going to deselect this where it says apply to all main captions because I want to add an animation just to the first caption. Because as you see, when I play the video, it plays with this caption on the screen and it just looks bad. So I want to create an animation for it. And for that, all we have to do, go over here on the top right where it says animation, click on this, and choose a pre-made animation for the caption. I'm going to choose something simple like wave in. And I'm going to increase the duration to maybe 1 second. So now if we hit play, the caption will have an animation in the beginning. It will look much more nicer.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new.
Now, what I don't like about this is how the clip exits.
A brand.
It instantly disappears. So we can create an end animation just like we did for the beginning of the clip. So here's how we do it. Zoom in a little bit at the end of the clip, and to keep things easy and fast, what I like to do is cut the end of the clip just like this, and now just select the last part of the clip, go to transform over here where it says transform, and add a keyframe. Make sure you add a keyframe at the beginning of the clip. So as you can see, my timeline pin is at the beginning of the clip. Go ahead and add a keyframe and then drag the timeline pin almost at the end. And now drag this clip wherever you want him to exit. You can go right, you can go left, you can go down. For this, I'm going to go up. So I'm just going to drag the clip all the way up, just like that. And now if we hit play,
I love you, bro.
the clip goes up. But to make it look nicer, as always, on the last keyframe, right click, preset curves, and change the animation to cubic
I love
ease.
you, bro.
Now, if we watch the entire clip and everything we edited is going to look like this.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand.
And then the clip goes up and exits. Now we have to add footage for this part of the voiceover, which says
A brand new coin, a flashy
a brand new coin. In order to add footage that makes sense with the voiceover, always go to ChatGPT or go wherever you saved the script and read the script so you understand what this is about. So what I understand, this controversy is about Adin Ross and some other people creating a meme coin, a crypto coin, meme coin. So we need to look through the script ourselves so we understand the context of the script so we can find the perfect footage for our video. Now here is where we can be creative and use AI to generate the footage for us. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Google Images and I'm gonna search for Adin Ross PNG. I'm gonna search for a PNG image with Adin Ross, for example, this one. And I'm gonna save it to my computer. Then I'm gonna go to a new ChatGPT window. Over here where it says plus, I'm gonna select create image. I'm gonna drag and drop the image I just downloaded of Adin Ross. And then I'm gonna prompt ChatGPT something like this. Recreate this image of me. So the reason why I say me is because sometimes ChatGPT will say he's not allowed, the policy doesn't allow him to recreate images of other people. So just type recreate this image of me because ChatGPT doesn't know who you are. So this way, basically ChatGPT, we won't have errors with ChatGPT. So recreate this image of me, but make me hold a golden 3D crypto coin with the text MLG on it. Make sure I look exactly the same as in the image I have attached. Make the background transparent. And that's pretty much it. Send this prompt to ChatGPT and ChatGPT will generate a image of Adin Ross, hopefully holding a coin that says MLG on it, and the background will be transparent, which means we don't have to add the image in Photoshop and remove the background ourselves. So we can just drag and drop it to CapCut. And there we go, ChatGPT generated an image of Adin Ross holding a coin that says MLG on it. Now this character doesn't exactly look like Adin Ross. It still looks a little bit like him, but it doesn't really matter because all we want to do is help the viewers visualize what the voiceover is saying. Plus, we are going to animate this character and he's going to be moving, so it's going to be hard to just focus on him for 3 seconds and think like, oh, this is not Adin Ross. It doesn't really matter. So this is perfect. All you have to do from here is download the image to your computer by clicking over here. Once you download the image to your computer, go ahead and add it in CapCut. So just drag and drop the image in CapCut. Then I'm going to drag and drop the image on the timeline over here where the first clip ends. Now, because it's an image, it's very short. All you have to do is drag it like this to increase the length of it. And I'm going to increase the length of it very little because the voiceover says a brand new coin for a very short period of time.
A brand new coin?
There we go. So now let's animate this. Let's zoom in a little bit so we have a better view of what's happening on the timeline. And let me show you how I'm going to animate this. Click on the image and then scale it just like that. And then drag and drop it somewhere over here. And then on the screen, take the image and position it somewhere nice, like maybe over here. And we can also rotate the image just like this. Now to animate it, I want the image to come from the bottom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to rotate it even more so it looks like this. And then on the screen, I'm gonna drag it over here. Now over here where it says transform, I'm gonna add a keyframe at the beginning of the image. Remember, the timeline pin needs to be at the beginning of the image. Then I'm gonna drag the pin a few milliseconds ahead, and then I'm gonna take the image and put it over here and again rotate it to a standing position, a normal position, just like that. If we hit play, it's going to look like this.
A brand new coin?
It's a little bit too fast. So let's take the keyframe and position it a little bit further away. If we hit play now, it's going to look like this.
A brand new coin?
Now on the keyframe, right click, preset curves, and cubic ease. And now it's going to look like this.
A brand new coin?
Now, if you don't like how it's positioned, make sure you have the timeline pin exactly where the keyframe is, and you can rotate it a little bit more or do whatever you want. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit more so it looks like this. Now, if I hit play,
brand new coin,
it looks like that. Let's listen to the voiceover to understand if we can cut the image over here or we can drag the image even more. So,
brand new coin, a flashy name.
Now, I think maybe we can end the image here. I'm not sure. Maybe I can end the image over here somewhere. Now let's add a shake effect to the image so it looks smooth. Go over here where it says effects and select for shake. Now, if you put your mouse over the effects, you can see how the effects look. As you can see, this shake is very aggressive. This one is a little bit slower. This one has blur, and you can scroll through the effects and choose something you like. For example, I'm going to use this one, Rebound Swing, because this one is very soft. Download the effect and add it by clicking on the plus. It will add it on the timeline. Now take the effect on the timeline and drag and drop it on top of the image only. Don't put it on top of the subtitles. Put it just above the image. Then drag the effect to have the same length with the image. If we hit play,
Brand new coin.
it's going to look like this, but it's also going to move the background. To fix that, we need to create a compound with these layers. So basically you just select both layers and then create a compound. But before we do that, we can also change the settings of the shake. So we can increase the size, change the speed, and make it look nicer. Now let's create a compound with the effect and the image. Select both the image and the effect, right click, create compound. And now if we hit play, only the image will have the shake effect.
Brand new coin. A flashy name.
As you can see. But I would like to add even more effects on this image, but I already created a compound. So instead of just going back and deleting everything, we can literally double click on this compound and it's going to show us what's inside the compound, which is the effect and the image. So we can just add another effect just inside this compound layer. So go to effects and I'm going to add glow. So again, if you put your mouse on the effect, you can see how it's going to look on the image. For example, I'm going to use this effect, glow 2. To add it, just click on the plus. It's going to automatically add on the timeline. Drag it to fit with the image. And now if we look at the drawing, it's going to have a glow. We can change the settings. We can increase the size. We can increase the glow level. I'm going to personally decrease the glow and increase the size. And now we can go back to the main timeline by clicking over here, by exiting the compound. So just click over here and we're back on the main timeline. If we hit play, we will see that now our image has glow and also some nice shaking effect.
A brand new coin. A flashy.
But I personally don't like how fast the image enters the screen. And I also can't make it enter slower because the image is too short. So what I realized I can do, if we listen to the voiceover,
A brand new coin. A flashy name.
a brand new coin, a flashy name. Where it said flashy name in the beginning, I thought maybe I can put Adin Ross as the flashy name. But instead, what we can do is highlight the MLG letters on the coin when the voiceover says a flashy name. So this is basically how you need to edit video. This is how you need to be aware and conscious. You listen to the voiceover and you're freestyling the edit. As you're editing, you're trying to understand what visually makes sense with the voiceover in order to help the viewers stay on the video, to make the video easier for the viewers to watch. So as I said in the beginning, over here at the voiceover where it says a flashy name, my first idea was to write Adin Ross and add Adin Ross as a big text on the screen. But now because I've created this effect and this effect looks nice, I changed my mind and I'm gonna zoom in on the coin where it says MLG, and instead of writing Adin Ross on the screen, I'm simply going to have the camera zoom on the coin where it says MLG. So here's how I'm going to fix that. I have to increase the length of the image, but I can't because it's a compound. So I have to go back inside the compound and increase the length of the image there. So double click on the image, and now we are inside the compound. We can select all the layers with the effects and everything and drag it just like this to increase the size of it. If we go back and we exit the compound, now we can finally drag it because the image inside the compound is also larger. That's how it basically works. That's how compounds works. I'm trying to teach you how this program works. I don't just want you guys to copy exactly what I'm doing. I want you to understand how the program works so that you can edit yourself whatever you want. Now let's zoom in on the coin where it says a flashy name over here. Look at the voiceover where a flashy name starts. Put your pin exactly where the voiceover starts to say a flashy name, and then on the clip, on the compound clip of the image, select the clip and split the clip in two. As you can see, now we have two clips. And now we can edit just in this clip. At the beginning of this clip, make sure your timeline pin is at the beginning of this clip. On transform, add a keyframe, right? Then move your timeline pin 1 second ahead, something like that. And now we can zoom in and position the image to have the coin on the screen, just like that. And as always, to have the transition smooth, right-click on the second keyframe, presets, and cubic ease. And now our animation starting from the beginning is going to look something like this.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
How awesome is that? We literally created a visually beautiful edit with just one footage from YouTube, which was just a clip of Adin Ross and a fan. And then we created this animation of the character by simply using a PNG image from Google. And then we re-edited that image using ChatGPT, and it was still just an image, but inside CapCut, we were able to animate it and make it look like this.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
That's how fun and simple it is to edit videos for faceless channels. Now, let me show you one more cool trick. Where it says flashy name, we can highlight the MLG name. So we want to cut the clip again where it says name, but we can't cut it because we have a keyframe. So before we cut it, we need to transform it into a compound so that we don't mess up with the animation. That's how powerful creating compounds in CapCut is. So now that we created this clip into a compound, we can finally cut it exactly where the voiceover says name. So again, to cut, just select the clip and go over here is split. So we split the clip. Now to highlight the MLG text, we have a few options. We can use a mask. So basically, if you go to mask and add a mask, we can basically do this. I'm actually going to show you. So basically, let me go back. So go to mask, add a mask, and then change the position of this mask to cover the entire screen. Scroll down and create a keyframe for all the effects of the mask. So over here where it says mask setting, add a keyframe at the beginning of the image, just like that. It's the same principle as the other keyframes. Then drag the pin 1 second ahead, and now we can edit the mask. So I'm gonna drag this over here just like that. I'm gonna drag the bottom of the mask also, and I'm gonna position it over here just like that. And I can also make the corners round, and if I want, I can also use feather to add like a blur effect around the mask, just like that. So now if you hit play, it's going to look like that. A flashy name. But personally, I'm not sure if I like this effect. I'm not sure I want to highlight the MLG text like that. So that is why I'm not going to use masks for this. So I'm going to delete everything I've just done. I'm going to delete the keyframes. I'm going to remove the mask. So instead of using the mask to highlight, what I would like to do is add some black shadow around the video so that we're highlighting the MLG text. Now to do that in CapCut, it's impossible because CapCut does have some limitations. It's not like After Effects, but the way I'm going to do it is by creating a black shadow inside Photoshop. So I'm going to make a new file in Photoshop. I'm going to remove the white layer inside Photoshop like that. I'm going to choose the color black. I'm going to take the pen, increase the size of it, right? Make more layers because this one is blocked. Increase the size of it, decrease the hardness of it, and then I'm going to paint around just like that to create a shadow around the borders. Now I'm going to have the layer selected. I'm going to go over here where it says filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to increase this. Just like that. And now I can save this image and put it into CapCut. Now you can create this image in different programs like Canva or whatever. I'm using Photoshop because it's the best program. Now go back to CapCut, add the image, and drag and drop it on top of the video compound. Make sure you drag and drop it on top of the video compound so the subtitles are above. So now when it says flashy name, we have this image with the shadow which will highlight the MLG name. We can resize it and position it in a different position so that it fits nicely and it really highlights just the MLG text. So now if I hit play, it looks like that. But it's instant, so we need to animate it. To animate it, we can just click on it, and CapCut has pre-made animations such as fade in. So click over here on the right where it says animations. So select the image itself, click animations, and over here you can choose fade in. Now it's going to look like this.
A flashy name.
But it comes in a little bit late, so let's drag and drop the image over here somewhere, increase the length of it, and now if we hit play, it's going to look like that.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
Let's look at the entire video to see how it looks.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
And from here, basically, you have to continue doing the exact same thing. These are the exact same animations you have to do in your video to maintain retention. For example, if you don't like how the subtitles look, we can just remove them. I'm gonna hide them for now. So let's see how the video looks without the subtitles.
It started with hype.
I love you, bro.
A brand new coin, a flashy name.
I personally think it looks much better without the subtitles, so I'm just going to remove the subtitles entirely. And as I said, from here, what you have to do is create the exact same effects. And that's how I edit videos for my faceless drama channel. That's really everything you need to know about CapCut. These are all the effects you need to know how to use. So basically, you need to understand how to use masks. You need to understand how to use keyframes, and then you need to understand how to use the compound feature to compound layers so that you can add animations and then effects and then cut them. And that's basically it. Once you understand how the mask works, how compounding works, and how the keyframes work, you'll be able to edit videos just like me in a few hours. And inside this video, I've exactly shown you how to use the keyframes and the compound and the masks to create animations. After you edit 3 or 5 videos yourself, everything I've just shown you in this tutorial will come like second nature to you. It will become very easy. You will understand exactly how keyframes, masks, and compounding works. And because of that, you will be able to edit videos with awareness. I like to call it awareness because when you're editing videos, there's not like a specific rule on how to edit videos. It's a freestyle. All you have to understand is how the program works. And to understand CapCut, all you have to understand, as I said, is masks, keyframes, and compound. If you understand those 3 things, you're able to edit videos just like this, which visually look very nice. So basically what editing with awareness means is exactly what happened over here. As I said, where the voiceover said,
a flashy name,
I wanted to show Adin Ross' name. But then I changed my mind. I realized it would be better to just zoom in on the MLG coin, and I did this effect. This is not like a rule or something. I simply freestyled and edited with awareness. That's basically how you have to edit these videos, with awareness. Now, if you also want to add text or something on the screen, all you have to do is go over here, it says text, add a text, it's going to add a default text. You can change the text to whatever you want, like Adin Ross. I don't want to add a text because I don't think it's necessary, but I just want to show you guys. So add a text, drag it, and it has the same concept as the images and everything. If you want to animate it, you can animate it either by using a pre-made animation over here. So
name,
just like that,
a flashy name,
something like this.
a flashy name,
Or you can make your own animation. So you can remove this animation, and to make your own animation, you need to transform the text again into a compound layer. So right click, create compound, and now the text is a compound, is a clip. Because it's a clip, we can now animate the position of it over here. So for example, I'm going to add a keyframe, I'm going to position the text outside, and then I'm going to drag the timeline pin, put the text inside, and if I hit play,
flashy name,
the name comes in like that. I'm going to add a preset curve,
flashy,
and now if I hit play,
a flashy name,
I created my own animation for the text. So that's how compounds work. It lets us create animations within CapCut because we can create an animation, and then to save the animation, I'm going to create a compound of it, and now I can add another animation, and then I can add effects and compound that and animate that. That's pretty much it. That's how I edit inside of CapCut for my faceless drama channels. Now, before I go, I want to show you guys an example. If you go over here to this channel called Pexto, who has 500,000 subscribers, if we click on one of the videos, you will see that the animations are very similar. So basically over here, he has these images coming in. It's the same exact principle inside CapCut. To create something like that, you basically have to do exactly what we did in the beginning over here. But instead of doing it with one clip, you do it with multiple clips and make them smaller, and you make them come from the bottom. And then you have these clips, and you can transition them up, and instead of having this image over here coming from the left, you can have it coming from the down. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it, create a compound of it. So for example, when this clip exits, to have this exact same transition like in this video, as you can already see the new image over here down. To have something like that, just make both effects more closer like this. This one will also enter just like that.
I love you, bro.
And that's pretty much it. It's the same basic principle. Keyframes, masking, and compound. That's it. Now, if you're watching this video for the first time and you're not very experienced with video editing, I know it's going to sound overwhelming and hard, but I promise that if you watch this video again and again and again, and you just create 3 to 5 videos, complete videos, 8-minute videos, 10-minute videos, you will understand everything yourself, and everything will make sense, and everything will be easy for you as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I edit videos inside of CapCut.